While he has been called a CEO, founding partner, and now McMaster University's next Chancellor, some of Dr. Nicholas Earle Brathwaite's fondest titles remain Kayak, PBC Boy, Mung Mung, and QC Boy. Born in Carriacou, Brathwaite has amassed more than 40 years of experience as a product developer, tech investor, and executive. Speaking with GBN, he recalled his formative years in the Caribbean.
I think of myself as a true Caribbean man because I lived in multiple Caribbean countries and I got to understand, some of the differences and similarities between the different countries. But it also helped me to realize, for example, going to school in Guyana, we went to Queens College, which at the time was considered one of the top high schools in the Caribbean, and leaving a little place like Grenada, a little school like PBC, and then going to, a much larger school and, highly regarded throughout the Caribbean and being able to compete and do well in school also gave me a level of self-confidence that just because I was from a little island didn't mean that I couldn't compete.
Brathwaite's illustrious Silicon Valley career spans companies such as Intel, N-Chip, and Flextronics, where his work pioneered semiconductors and early versions of the Palm Pilot and Xbox. Dr. Brathwaite reflected on being the first Black person to be Chief Technology Officer of a publicly traded technology company.
The first is a milestone, and for me it's always been important that when I'm the first that I have to perform, because if you're the first and you don't accomplish anything, you become a mistake never to be repeated. But if you're the first and you accomplish things, then you become known as a trailblazer. And I think I'm proud of the fact that in Silicon Valley, I'm considered a trailblazer. In fact, quite frankly, there was not a lot of Black people in Silicon Valley in general. In many of the conferences and stuff I would go to, oftentimes I would be the only one, or sometimes you might see one or two other Black people, but not a lot. But there were not a lot of Caribbean people. So I started looking around, and I would find jobs, and I would tell my friends about it, and I would go talk to, in some cases, some of the managers and other people, and tell them about my friends. And so I started building up my own community, my own friendship community, by bringing my friends.
With his wife Janice, Dr. Brathwaite started the Petna Foundation to provide full scholarships to underprivileged students in Grenada and the Caribbean. Brathwaite cites his motivation as a desire to honor the sacrifices of his family and community.
When my father was in high school, he was from Carriacou. His dad died, and his mother could not afford for him to pay for him to go to school in Grenada. So he had to quit school in his senior year in school and go back to Carriacou and work. Luckily, he persisted and he became Prime Minister of Grenada. But that story. And so to honor my parents, I decided to start the Petna Foundation.
Dr. Nicholas Earle Brathwaite will assume the role of Chancellor of McMaster University on January 1, 2026, serving as the ceremonial head and key representative of the university. He looks forward to shepherding the university's response to modern developments in technology and learning. Reporting for GBN News, I am trainee reporter Deidre Seeley.